Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the Q3 FY24 earnings conference call of APL Apollo Tubes Limited, hosted by Nuvama Wealth Management. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star, then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Ms. Neha Talreja from Nuvama Wealth Management Limited. Thank you, and over to you.
Thank you, Yashashree. Welcome to the 3Q FY24 conference call for APL Apollo Tubes. From the management, we have Mr. Sanjay Gupta ji, who is the Chairman and MD, Mr. Deepak Goyal ji, Director, Operations and the CFO, and Mr. Anubhav Gupta, who is the Chief Strategy Officer. To start off, I will hand over the call to the management for opening remarks, post which we will have a detailed Q&A. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Nuvama and Neha, for having us here. This is Anubhav here, and I thank all the participants who have joined on this call to listen to our Q3 FY24 earnings call. So if we look at the performance in the last 9 months and specifically in the Q3 FY24, a few observations, few highlights we like to make. Number one is that if we look at our 9 months sales volume, it's up by 20% YOY. The EBITDA is up 30% YOY, and net profit is also up 30% YOY. Now the sales volume of 1.94 million tons, if we analyze it, it comes out to be 2.6 million tons for the full year, which is of course lower than our initial guidance of 3 million tons. When we had started the year, we had guided for 3 million tons. Now there are multiple reasons why the actual performance in the first 9 months is lower than the initial guidance. And that will also give you clarity on why our Q3 was so soft. So few reasons I like to highlight are, number one, that our Raipur plant, which is our greenfield, highly innovative plant, we had thought that we will start the production of this plant in month of June, July in this calendar year. But ultimately, we ended up commissioning it fully in the month of December, and last line just got commissioned in early Jan. So obviously, there is like 4-5 months of delay in the commissioning of Raipur plant. Second, also our Dubai plant, we had thought that we'll start the production in month of September, but ultimately we could start the plant in December. Then the third reason is the steel price inflation in the domestic market, which persisted throughout the year. Although we had thought with the commissioning of new steel mills by new players and the existing players increasing their capacity, the domestic steel price inflation will soften up, which will open up the market for our general segment, which gets competition from the scrap steel tubes. But there also the steel price inflation didn't come down until the month of December. So first 8 months were pretty tough. And fourth factor I would say is because of weak retail sales in India in the construction industry. If you look at the commentary of other building material companies like tiles and electrical fittings and bath fittings, etc., there is this trend that the retail sales in second quarter, third quarter were pretty soft because of multiple reasons: high inflation, high interest costs, and also we believe that demonetization. I would say partial demonetization also led to weak retail sales, which impacted the money supply in the system. Now coming to the third quarter in specific, the months of October and November were pretty bad because the regional steel prices were coming down sharply but the domestic steel prices remained high, which led to very heavy destocking by our channel partners, and the sales kind of really collapsed in month of November. But the good part was that with the commissioning of new steel mills, the prices came down. And it opened up the market, and we could recover a lot of ground in month of December, and the trends continue in January as well as we speak. The other highlight is a slight increase in our working capital to 9 days in December quarter. This is because of loss of volume in the Q3. So there was some inventory pile-up which is now getting normalized. So we shall be going back to like mid-single-digit working capital as we close our March quarter. And because we still did capex of around 500 crores for the 9 months, which was mainly funded from internal cash flows, the debt increased slightly because of elevated working capital to 400 crores versus 200 crores. Now looking at the outlook, right? Looking at the outlook for the Q4 and next year. Like I said, that the restocking has started, and we are very positive on the structural shift now, which is going to take place in the upstream steel sector with the emergence of new mills getting commissioned and the increasing capacity of the existing steel mills. So the unfair competition which we get from low grade, low quality scrap steel tubes, that will slowly go away, and it will open up the market for HR coil based primary steel tubes in a big way. And given that the distribution network, the product portfolio we have, we are more than confident that we will maintain our market share of 55% as the HR coil based steel tube market improves or takes market share from scrap steel based tubes. Now, one highlight I'd like to make here is that in 9 months our company has grown its volume by 20%, earnings by 30%. This is despite the fact that last year we showed or we registered a very solid growth, right? Our last year volume was up by 30%, and this year we are up by 20%. So yes, and as management, we take the responsibility that this is lower than the guidance, but as a business, it grew stronger, right, with back-to-back 30% and 20% YY growth. So we expect the momentum to continue, and I'm glad to share that we maintained our 5 million tons sales volume target by FY26. Right, we are sitting on 4 million ton capacity right now, and in next 1 year we'll be ready with 1 million ton incremental capacity. So we'll be ready with 5 million ton capacity, right? Everything is in line. It's just that to grow more than 20-25% as an organization, we also need some external factors to favor us, right? Which could be this unfair steel price inflation, right? And some macro trends, some macro factors also more conducive for the construction sector in India. Now coming to some of the micro factors for our organization, there are 2 things which we have spoken about a lot in the last 2 years. One is our new product launches and the market creation for those products. And second is our export international sales, right, where we are pretty confident to ramp up the volume. So I'll give some data points which will give you confidence that our new product launches have been pretty successful, and the market adoption is also pretty encouraging. So, for example, let's start with Raipur plant, right, where there are like 4 segments in which Apollo kind of came as the first manufacturer in the country. So talking about the heavy structural tubes, right? Now, if you look at the ramp up when we started the mill in month of March and till December, the utilization levels have reached 50%. Okay, in the heavy structural segment. Now, this was one segment which was where we needed a different channel. We had to educate market, right, and we have been pretty successful. That's why we could reach 50% utilization levels within first year of operations. Now, the second segment in Raipur was super light tubes, right? That also we started like 2-3 months ago, and now the mills are already running at 30% utilization levels. Now, that's also pretty encouraging because we could launch products with thickness of up to 0.18 millimeters, right, and as narrow as 8 millimeters by 8 millimeters. So it's a very broad portfolio of super light tubes which we launched, and the results are pretty encouraging. Then the third product which we launched in Raipur was roofing sheets, which is our adjacent product, right? There also, I'm glad to share that that mill has reached utilization levels above 70% already, right? So this also shows strength of APL Apollo brand that we could ramp up these volumes so quickly, pushing this product in our channel, and along with our tubes, the fabricators, the contractors, the end home owner, everyone is keen to use Apollo products. Then thicker coated sheet, which is super innovation, first time in the world. That mill eventually got started in like late December and early Jan. So there also we could produce 8,000 tons in the last quarter, which gives like 12% utilization levels. Now these utilization levels will go up pretty solid in the coming months. So all in all, the Raipur plant is now running at more than 50% utilization level, right? So this gives answers to a lot of questions which each one of you had in mind, that whether Apollo will be able to make these products successful in the market. But I'm glad to share that the data points clearly give clarity that we are able to create markets for these products. Now the next big segment for us is the international markets. If you look at the global steel tube industry, which is like 80-90 million tons in size. Now, if you remove India and China, the US, the Canada, the African markets, and the European markets, and the Middle East market, they are dependent on imports, right, from low cost manufacturers. So what we have mapped is that this industry is around 30-40 million tons of annual sales, which trade over the borders. Now, if you look at Apollo's export international volume in FY23, that was as low as like 50,000 tons. Now, Apollo being world's third largest steel tube producer, and number one, if we remove the top 2 Chinese, our contribution to international trade market was very, very small, right? So we fixed that by starting a plant in Dubai and setting up a full-fledged team in Dubai, and again, like we started the plant in month of December, and results are encouraging. Overall, if you look at Apollo, the export sales have grown by 60% on YoY basis in the first 9 months. And with Raipur plant commissioning, the Dubai plant commissioning, this will improve further. Just to give you perspective, the Raipur plant, the capacity is 300,000 tons, but in December we started first 2 mills, and 100,000 tons is what is ready in Dubai, and the balance 200,000 tons will be ready in next 2 quarters. So lastly, I would like to again reiterate that we are ready with our infrastructure to be able to produce and sell 5 million tons in next 2 years. What we look forward is having some tailwinds from the sector, from the steel sector, with increasing supply, which seems very, very visible. And the macro trends, hopefully after elections this year, the things towards the construction, towards the infrastructure sector will be much more bright, and we are ready to serve that growth in the construction sector with our 3,000 STU base and 800 distributor network, with all the core competencies which Apollo has developed over the last 35 years of its existence. And whatever growth comes, we will maintain our 55% market share in the HR coil-based steel tube segment. That's all from our side, and we are happy to take questions now. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. We have a first question from the line of we have a first question from the line of Bharat Shah from ASK Investment Managers. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning to everybody. Very clearly, the results of third quarter in terms of volume growth, I'm sure have been below expectations of everybody, including you. Good part to note is that we still are confident that where the journey ahead is lying. But a moot question I want to ask is, in this journey of reaching 5 million tons and more, how much of our destiny is dependent upon the fact that industry itself has to grow and rise? Secondly, how much of it is dependent upon our innovation success, our ability to read the market well, our ability to introduce the right products and create market ahead of the competition, and superior customer solution service. So that is the second factor. And the third, how much of the destiny will get is we are moving more and more into value added. How much of that will still be colored by the movement of the steel prices up and down? In short, while this particular quarter clearly has been in terms of the sales outlook below what everybody thought, or you might have thought too. But if you have to focus on the long-term journey, how much of our own destiny is under our control, and how much of it will depend upon
Hello.
Yeah, one moment, sir. I'm sorry, sir, your line got disconnected. We'll take the next question from the line of Rahul Agarwal from InCred Equities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity. And thanks for sharing the segment-wise capacity information in the presentation. That really helps us. So two questions, Anjali. Firstly, on demand side and then on the supply side. On the demand, bit more shorter term, how is the situation currently with the channel? Like, let's say the sales from the company to the distributor, which is primary, and then from the distributor to end customers. I just wanted to know that, what's your experience into Jan, Feb, March? What do you expect? Similarly, you can, explain if, what's the pricing difference between primary and secondary steel pricing today, which might, play an impact on how fourth quarter will behave. That's the first question.
Well, first of all, good morning to everybody. Today, the difference between the secondary and the primary almost close to 12 rupees kg. 12,000 रुपये का almost फर्क है अपने secondary और primary में. The number two, how is it going up to Q4? Like in Q3, we are barely hitting the month of October and November due to the international prices also going down, and India में भी channel destocking काफी शुरू हो गया था. But in the month of December, we again came back very sharply. Or January is also looking good. I don't think there is an issue for a normal growth के लिए, like I can say कि 7 lakh ton in quarter Q4 is not a tough challenge for us. हाँ, जो हम extraordinary बात कर रहे हैं कि like we are thinking for this year 3 million ton and next year 4, and again the Q5 25-26 we are targeting 5 million ton. उसके लिए no doubt this type of growth 40-50% of growth होने के लिए we need some tailwind also with us. उसके लिए the positive point is the 2 new steel plants are already started in India. One in NNC Steel and one in JSPL. And also I'm listening the Concall of Tata Steel also. They are coming 1.5 million ton capacity this year, and next year 3 to 4 million ton capacity. So like JW is also going to start their 5th HSM in Bellary in the month of March, and international marketing also in the softer side. So maybe for short term this is a pain for us because there is in the channel there is this stocking, and we have also to take care of our inventory losses. But for the future terms, जैसे secondary और primary में gap खत्म होगा, तो this is very good for us.
Correct, sir. Sir, 12 kilo difference पे general structures बिकना थोड़ा tough हो जाता है. What is your view on that?
Yes, now we are do lot of work on our brand. Like you see, आपने देखा होगा पिछले 1.5-2 महीने से हमने branding exercise को बहुत तेज कर दिया है. So I'm glad to share you कि हमारा जो ये अपना टप ये अपना जो general sections है, उसमें भी now we are getting good demand and good response from the market. वहाँ पर हमारा margins भी increase हो रहा है, जो I'm very sure कि Q4 में हमारा वहाँ पर margin impact भी अच्छा नजर आएगा.
Got it, sir. So secondly, on the supply side, just one question. What our understanding is that between the EBITDA of 2,000 to 5,000 rupees a ton supplies increased, we see a lot of listed companies talking about similar goals what APL Apollo had 5 years back. How is it changing the supply dynamics in the structural tube industry for India market, please?
Right now, if you really secondary में तो just हमको market से कुछ मालूम पड़ता है कि some companies are aggressive or some companies are doing some work in the secondary market, but in the primary steel, I don't think मेरे को लग रहा है कि जो अनुभव 55 और 60% market share के हमारी बात करता है. मैं technically जब अभी last month में मैं पूरे अपने visit पे था पूरे all around the India, like go to the Bangalore, Kerala, ये Salem, तमिलनाडु, पूना, अहमदाबाद, जहाँ पर भी visit किया मेरे को कहीं पर भी अपना market से 80% नीचे नहीं आ रहा है यार. मैं पूरा इंडिया में लास्ट मंथ से विजिट करके आया हूँ. I'm finding my market is almost close to 80% infrastructure to be. थोड़ा सा इसको डिफाइन अगर मैं करूँ और भी डेडिकेट तरह से, इंडिया का टोटल मार्केट शेयर जो मार्केट है जो लगभग मेरी रीडिंग के हिसाब से 11 लाख टन पर मंथ के आसपास है. 11 लाख टन में 6 लाख टन फ्रॉम प्राइमरी है और 5 लाख टन फ्रॉम सेकेंडरी है. और 6 लाख टन में अगर आप देखोगे तो 2.3 लाख टन पर मंथ हमारा अपोलो है. The second period in the water lines में जो है अपने like master synthesis is almost close to 50,000 ton per month. Jindal Hisar is close to 40,000 ton per month. And number 3, Surya Roshni is close to 60,000 ton per month. So I put and then one company in Eastern India, New Zone, he is close to 40,000 ton per month. So it's altogether कितना बनेगा? So in structural, it will no. Total. I put the pipe and tubing and water line and transportation and structural tubing आगे. तो कितना बनेगी? 2.2 is Apollo. 2.3 is Apollo. 2.3 on 4.1. नहीं total कितना हुआ? 6 लाख टन में. 2.3 तुम्हारा अपोलो हो गया. हाँ जी. 0.6 is master synthesis. Right. And ये 0.4 is Jindal Hisar. 0.4 is तुम्हारा New Zone. 0.6 is Surya. And one company is more. Tata Steel is 0.5, 0.6 lakh ton. कितना हो गया टोटल? 3, 4. मोटामोटी 5 लाख टन हो गया ना. राउंड तो 5 लाख टन तो ये ऑर्गेनाइज प्लेयर है. और स्मॉल छोटे छोटे प्लेयर लाइक हाईटेक, रामा और ऐसे छोटे छोटे प्लेयर सब मिला के 1 लाख टन के आसपास होंगे. टोटल 6 लाख टन जो ट्यूब्स में है प्राइमरी में. अब 5 लाख टन ये तुम्हारे छोटे छोटे प्लेयर है उसमें लाइक जो संभव स्टील टाइप कोई कंपनी है, हरिओम स्टील, जेटीएल इंफ्रा, इस टाइप लॉट ऑफ कंपनीज इन द सेकेंडरी स्टील. मे भी उनका थोड़ा बहुत प्राइमरी भी होता है. आई एम नॉट रिलेविंग, इतना डिफाइंड डाटा नहीं है मेरे पास. तो 6 लाख टन में ऑलमोस्ट क्लोज टू 3 लाख टन इज वाटर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, 3 लाख टन इज स्ट्रक्चरल ट्यूब. जो सेकेंडरी है उसमें लगभग 5 लाख टन में से 4 लाख टन स्ट्रक्चरल में होगा, 1 लाख टन वाटर ट्यूब एंड ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में होगा. तो आप टोटल अगर स्ट्रक्चरल ट्यूब की मार्केट देखोगे तो इंडिया की इसमें 3 लाख टन प्लस 4 लाख टन, 7 लाख टन के आसपास स्ट्रक्चरल ट्यूब की मार्केट है. बहुत कंबाइंड ये आपको प्राइमरी एंड सेकेंडरी. और 4 लाख टन की वाटर ट्रांसपोर्टेशन एंड गैस ट्रांसपोर्टेशन अला में करके 4 लाख टन की मार्केट है टोटल. तो आउट ऑफ 3 लाख टन माई सेल इज 2.3 लाख टन. 2.3 into 100 divided by 3 lakh. ऑलमोस्ट क्लोज टू 75%. और अभी जैसे से दिसंबर में काफी गैप कम हुआ. नाउ स्टील प्लांट हैज रिड्यूस्ड प्राइस बाय 2,500 रुपीज टन इन दिसंबर एंड 1,500 रुपीज पर टन इन जनवरी. ऑलमोस्ट क्लोज टू 4,000 रुपीज का प्राइस गैप कम हुआ है. और इन फ्यूचर दिस इज ऑल्सो इन द सॉफ्टवेयर साइड. और सेकेंडरी मार्केट जो भी मैं पूरा स्टडी करके आया हूँ, this is totally in the at par system. मैंने उनके पास there no ये मार्जिन टू गो डाउन. तो हम तो अपने सबसे टफ टाइम से निकल गए. हमने 15 रुपए किलो के गैप पे भी अपने आप को सस्टेन किया और अपना मार्जिन 200-400 ऊपर नीचे में हमने कवर करके अपने आप को सर्वाइव करा लिया. तो जैसे जैसे टाइम ये गैप इतना गैप चलना असंभव है. दिस इज इम्पॉसिबल टू रन दिस टाइप ऑफ गैप इन द इंडस्ट्री. तो ये गैप तो धीरे धीरे करके कम होकर 4-5 रुपए किलो पर आएगा जो टेंडेंसी पहले भी था. तो देन कहते हैं टेल विंड इज कम विद द अपोलो. जो हमारा अभी ऑलरेडी वी आर सिटिंग ऑन द 4 मिलियन टन कैपेसिटी और विद इन 2-3 मंथ्स हमारा पूरा 4.5 का कैपेसिटी क्रिएट हो जाएगा अप टू अप्रैल. एंड दिसंबर तक हमारा पूरा 5 मिलियन टन का कैपेसिटी क्रिएट हो जाएगा. तो आई डोंट थिंक कि हमको थोड़ा सा भी टेल विंड का साथ मिल गया तो बहुत साल में बहुत तेज अब वापस आएंगे.
Got it, sir. I'll come back in the queue. Anubhav, if you could just give a small answer, APBL EBITDA for third quarter and 9 months, that will be helpful. Thank you so much.
Yeah. So APL, if you see, the volume was around 15,000 tons, and we did 4,500 per ton EBITDA.
I missed the volume. What did you say?
115,000 tons.
1,50,000 of our Q3 volume in ABPL, and EBITDA is 4,500 rupees per ton.
Okay, Sanjay. Got it. Thank you so much. I'll come back in the queue. All the best.
Thank you. And just for the participants, what Sanjay ji highlighted about the breakup for structural steel tubes between primary, secondary, there is a slide number 12 on our earnings presentation, which clearly depicts this industry scenario.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Bharat Shah from ASK Investment Managers. Please go ahead.
Namaskar, Sanjay ji. I raised the question earlier. I am not sure whether that was heard or it got lost.
You want to ask us, the 5 million ton capacity we want to reach by 2026, उसमें कितना हमारे ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा, कितना ये आउटसाइड फैक्टर पर डिपेंड करेगा, am I right?
हाँ, मैं मोटा वही कह रहा था कि महत्व की फैक्टर्स हम देखें तो हमारी इनोवेशन, मार्केट क्रिएशन एंड सक्सेस देयर, एंड कस्टमर सेंट्रिसिटी एंड सर्विस एंड सॉल्यूशन प्रोवाइडिंग. दूसरा, favorable external environment which is supporting demand for the structural steel tube. And third factor which is affecting profitability and in some sense demand also is being volatility in the steel prices. With the much tighter inventory control and others, we still have managed to deal with it much better, but it remains a factor like this third quarter is also showing. If you take into account all of these, ये जो जर्नी है 5 मिलियन की जो फर्स्ट पड़ाव है हमारा, how much of it is dependent on our own innate strengths and capability and our ability to anticipate and build that business, and how much of it is that journey is likely to depend upon tailwind or favorable factors?
मतलब 20-25% तो ग्रोथ निकालना हमारे ऊपर अपने ये विदाउट एनी फेवरेबल कंडीशन, वी आर वेरी कंफर्ट की जिस तक हमने इनोवेशन एंड ब्रांडिंग और डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन को फैलाया है, 20 से 25 20 to 25% growth is not a big challenge for us. This is we can do easily. But when I'm talking, like you know, कि I'm the aggressive person, I'm not satisfied like this year we do not do 3 million ton हम नहीं कर पा रहे जो clear visibility है मेरे को, so we are very dissatisfied on the organization level. We are not satisfied with our numbers. So 40 or 50% type का number निकालना, उसके लिए we need the tailwind factors. ये 25% के आसपास का नंबर निकालना, जितना हम काम कर रहे हैं अपने इनोवेशन पे, ब्रांडिंग पे, ये मार्केट के क्रिएशन पे, तो वो तो कोई बड़ा चैलेंज नहीं है फॉर अस. दिस इज ए क्विक वॉक, बट माय विजन इज 3 million ton for 2024 and next year 4 million ton and then the next year 5 million ton. This is no doubt we need some external factor का हमको सपोर्ट चाहिए होगा. अदरवाइज 25% के आसपास तो मान के चलो कि कोई भी सपोर्ट मिल भी रहेगा, तो we can do it.
And that 25% growth would definitely imply most of it would come from the superior products and superior solutions, therefore relatively better margin. Therefore, in this journey, whether the growth will be 25% or higher, but our margin trajectory should maintain a sustained improvement over a period of time.
Margin तो no doubt बनता ही हमारा increase होगा ही होगा, because आपको मैं थोड़ा सा जो मेरे को बहुत अच्छा फैक्टर नजर आ रहा है, अभी इफ यू थोड़ा सा भी चैनल पार्टनर्स पे जाके अपना मार्केट को आप लोग रीगेन करने का कोशिश करोगे, आप ऑल इंडिया अक्रॉस द कंट्री चैनल पार्टनर से बात करोगे मार्केट में, तो लाइक हमारा पहले अपोलो का पाइप जो है दूसरे ब्रांड से जो हमारे कम्पिटिटिव ब्रांड्स होते थे उससे 1000 रुपीज टन के आसपास एक्स्ट्रा बिकता था. नाउ दिस गैप इज क्रिएट टू 3000 रुपीज पर टन. लाइक अगर मार्केट में कोई भी नॉर्मल पाइप देखोगे तो वो इस टाइम 59 का उनका सेलिंग प्राइस है. हमारा सेलिंग प्राइस, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द रिटेल सेल प्राइस, 62 के आसपास है. जो ये गैप पहले 61-62 रहता था. तो जैसे क्योंकि हमारा कुछ कोटेड प्रोडक्ट में हमारा मार्जिन कम हुआ है, तो हमने अपने मार्जिन को इंक्रीज करने के लिए हमने जो अपना बड़ा बकेट था वहां पर अपना मार्जिन इंक्रीज करने का कोशिश किया था. एंड वी हैव सक्सेसफुली डन इन लास्ट 2 months. दिसंबर एंड जनवरी हमने अपने मार्जिन को काफी ऊपर रखते हैं. वी आर एबल टू सेल आवर मटेरियल. Maybe this is a reason of our services, this is a reason of our quality of branding, I don't know, but this is acceptable in the market. अगर हमारा मेन बास्केट चल गया, अब जिस ब्रांड हमने अपना इसी मार्जिन को क्रिएट करके माल बेच गया है, तो भरत भाई दिस इज अ बिग गेम चेंजर फॉर आवर कंपनी.
जी. And Sanjay ji, on export, Anubhav was narrating a large opportunity. What are really, given that size of opportunity in international market, which is hardly exploited by APL Apollo as yet, what are our competitive strengths in that market? And what are impediments and challenges in attaining our growth in that market?
Well, like in this January month, our export is high by almost 50%. And from Dubai plant, we are doing 8,000 tons this month, in the month of January. February, we are targeting to take to 8,000 to 10,000 tons, in spite of the 3 days less in the month. And March target is about 12,000 tons. So put together Dubai plant, we are targeting for this quarter 12 and 20, 30,000 tons. And two more lines are coming in the Dubai plant in the month of March. One is 150 square and the second one is 300 square. This, all the 4 lines put together, the capacity of Dubai plant is close to then about 25,000 tons per month, which we are clearly seeing we achieve this volume growth in the month of June. June तक हम 25,000 टन पर दुबई प्लांट में पहुंच जाएंगे. First, when we reach the 25,000 ton in Dubai plant in month of June, then we have a next step, next phase plan in Dubai also for another creating a capacity of 0.2 million ton. So then our Dubai plant is close to 500,000 ton. कुछ इंडिया से भी हमने अपना एक्सपोर्ट डिपार्टमेंट को काफी स्ट्रेंथन किया है. एंड बाहर के कंट्रीज में भी हम लाइक इन यूरोप एंड यूएसए एंड मेलबोर्न 3 जगह अपना वेयर हाउस भी खोलने जा रहे हैं. वन इन लिवरपूल, वन इन एंटवर्प, वन इन ह्यूस्टन एंड वन इन मेलबोर्न. द फोर सिटी वी आर गोइंग टू क्रिएट आवर ओन वेयर हाउसेज. आई थिंक सो कि नेक्स्ट 1 or 2 years में हमारा एक्सपोर्ट मार्केट में जहाँ पर हमारा अपना प्रेजेंस बहुत कम है, against the 30 million ton of market, we are just 0.4 or 0.3 million ton capacity पे है, हमारा अभी तक है. उसको हम 1 million ton तक ले जाने की कोशिश करेंगे.
कब तक?
Next 2 years.
Next 2 years. मतलब 2026 में ऑलमोस्ट
5 मिलियन टन में जाएंगे. तो वहां से हमको 5 मिलियन टन में हमारा जो टारगेट है कि 500,000 टन हमको दुबई प्लांट दे और 500,000 टन हम इंडिया से एक्सपोर्ट कर सके.
अच्छा. संजय जी, वहाँ हमारी कॉम्पिटिटिव स्ट्रेंथ कौन कौन सी है? विच आर द इश्यूज विच मेक अस ग्लोबल कॉम्पिटिटर्स?
Yeah, by the nature of costing, हम लोग कॉस्टिंग में ऑल ओवर द वर्ल्ड बहुत लेस प्राइसेस पे ये कॉस्ट पे हैं. नंबर 2, हमारा बास्केट इन द स्ट्रक्चर टू बी पूरे वर्ल्ड में सबसे बेस्ट है. एंड नंबर 3, आवर कैपेसिटी ऑफ परचेज ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल इज ऑल्सो एक्सलेंट अगेंस्ट द ग्लोबली market like हम जो दुबई में देख रहे हैं, but their local player buying today HR coil at $620 or $625 per ton. We are selling the material in Dubai plant at about $590 to $600. तो 2 to 3% हमारा अपना उनके मुकाबले में हमारा कॉस्ट कम है, 2-3% हमारा परचेज कॉस्ट इज लेस, एंड हमारा नो डाउट हमारा वैरायटी का भी हमको बेनिफिट है.
And I request you to join back the queue, please, as we have other participants waiting.
वन मिनट नो प्रॉब्लम, वन मिनट भाई, अपने भाई बोलो ना.
हाँ, so these advantages we would say prevails compared to any competitor, including the ones which are larger than us.
Yeah, because this is an advantage due to the India X factor. हमारे इंडिया के कारण गुडविल अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड बहुत अच्छा है और हमारे रिलेशनशिप ऑल द अदर सप्लायर्स बहुत अच्छे हैं, इसका एक बहुत बड़ा रीजन है.
Just to add to this, like this Dubai plant, which we put up a small capacity, 300,000 tons annual, right? But if you look at our SQ range, we are going to produce pipes starting 15 millimeter by 15 millimeter, up to 300 millimeter by 300 millimeter. Now that's the SKU which we are able to offer even in the like 25,000 tons of monthly capacity, right? So the factors which made us win in India, the same factors, the same competitive strength will help us win in international markets also.
And any major challenges do we believe that can scuttle this?
We are coming up from the challenge that in India we were buying expensive steel and we were not able to offer competitive price for our product. Now with having access to cheap steel, we have overcome that challenge by putting up Dubai plant. Now we see mainly opportunities, not challenges.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to ensure that the management is able to answer queries from all participants, please restrict your questions to 2 at a time. You may join back the queue for follow-up questions. We'll take our next question from the line of Abhishek from DSP. Please go ahead.
Hi sir, thanks for the opportunity. Sanjay ji, just दो चीज समझना था, जब when you do that 5 million ton of overall volume, which is the aspiration, new product contribution कितना होगा sir in that?
So Abhishek, just to answer this question, see, I mean last year if you look at FY23, right, our volume was 2.3 million tons. Now out of 2.3 million ton, the general segment was 1 million ton. And value added, super value added, which is like which also includes the new product, right? That was 1.3 million tons. Now, when we are talking about 5 million ton sales volume, Abhishek, our general segment will not be more than 1.5 million tons, and 3.5 million ton will be value add, super value add. So my value add, super value add is going to increase by almost 3 times. From 1.3 million ton to 3.5 million ton, right, by 2026. So mainly these products like Raipur 1 million ton, mainly is like all innovative products.
You have to try to impact one new product. So I think it's like 1.7 million ton is totally new.
So 10% every year the new products contribute to our volume, 10%.
Okay. So in that 5 million ton, almost 65-70% will be new product from that perspective.
No, value added. Value added super value. Value added product target is our close to 70%.
70%.
New product is, I think, जो आज हम नहीं कर पा रहे और जो करेंगे 5 से 6 लाख तक के आसपास totally new product होगा.
Okay, okay, got that. और सर एक और चीज समझना था, in terms of export और रायपुर will be your key contributor of volume growth from here on. तो मार्जिन्स कैसे देखना चाहिए, क्योंकि अगर लास्ट 5-6 साल में देखें सर, जनरल स्ट्रक्चर्स के मार्जिन्स लार्जली वो 1700 से 2000 रुपए एबिटा पर टन पे ही मूव कर रहे हैं. ये जब स्क्रैप के साथ अगर प्राइसेस कम होते हैं तो क्या उसमें भी मार्जिन इंप्रूवमेंट का स्कोप है इन जनरल?
नहीं, अभी सर वही मैं अर्लियर बता रहा था, आई एम वेरी होपफुल कि इस क्वार्टर में हमारा जो 1500 से 1700 का मार्जिन चलता था, मे बी इंक्रीज टू 2500 to 3000 रुपीज पर टन.
ओके ओके
यहाँ पर हमारा बहुत अच्छा इम्प्रूवमेंट आ रहा है, बट इट्स टू अर्ली टू से समथिंग। अगर आप पूरा चैनल डिस्कवरी करोगे पूरा मार्केट में, तो आज हमारे प्राइसेस में दूसरे के प्राइसेस में ऑलमोस्ट 3,000 रुपीज का गैप है।
करेक्ट।
बट सेनोरी इतना टफ है कि अभी हम कुछ नहीं बोल पा रहे हैं। मेहनत तो बहुत कर रहे हैं, बट कहीं ना कहीं हमको प्लस माइनस पॉइंट भी मिल जाता है जितना प्लस करते हैं। लाइक हमारा प्री ग्रेड में मार्जिन टूटा है।
ओके
बहुत सारा एक्स्ट्रा एडिशनल कैपेसिटी आने से प्री ग्रेड सब में, क्योंकि हर प्रोडक्ट का एक अपना टेन्योर होता है। लाइक जस्ट आफ्टर कोरोना ये इंडिया में कैपेसिटी लेस था, कोटेड प्रोडक्ट में काफी मार्जिन आ गया था। अब देखोगे तो हमारा प्री ग्रेड में दैट टाइम 10,000 रुपीज टन हमने मार्जिन कोट किया था।
श्योर।
बट वहां से कैपेसिटी इतना इंक्रीज हो गया कि कंट्री में प्री कोटेड का मार्जिन टूट रहा है इस में। तो वी आर एबल टू, जो हमारा मेन कोर बिजनेस है जो स्ट्रक्चरल सेक्शंस, उसमें हमने बहुत काम किया जब हम अभी प्रॉब्लमेटिक टाइम में थे। और आई एम वेरी वेरी ग्लैड टू से कि आप कहीं पर भी पूरे चैनल में चेक करो, टुडे अदर ये प्राइस 59 तो हमारा प्राइस 62 है और सेकेंडरी का प्राइस 50,000 है। इस गैप पर भी वी आर एबल टू मेंटेन आवर वॉल्यूम। दिस इज वेरी वेरी होपफुल एंड हम कहते हैं कि हमको बहुत अच्छा ये वे नजर आ रहा है। अगर मेरा ये सेक्टर अपना ड्यू टू द ब्रांड चल गया तो कंपनी कहते हैं नो लिमिट गेम टाइम पे हम आ जाएंगे।
ग्रेट, गॉट दैट। सर जस्ट एक लास्ट सवाल था आज, क्योंकि बिकॉज ऑफ लॉट ऑफ इंफ्रा एक्टिविटीज बहुत नए डिमांड सेक्टर्स निकल के आ रहे हैं, जैसे रेलवेज, वेयर हाउसेज, सोलर। तो कोई ऐसा सेक्टर दिख रहा है आपको विच कैन ऑल्सो हेल्प यू? एंड आप अभी नए प्रोडक्ट्स भी ला रहे हो ऑफ हायर डायामीटर, तो कोई एक या दो सेक्टर जिसकी वजह से आपको लग रहा है आपको वो हेल्प करेगा 5 मिलियन टन तक पहुंचने में?
सोलर में वी हैव डन लॉट ऑफ न्यू इनोवेटेड प्रोडक्ट। सोलर में हमको काफी उसमें अच्छे ऑर्डर्स आ रहे हैं हमारे सोलर की बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियों से। उसमें हमारी डे टू डे पर डेली मीटिंग्स भी चल रही है, उसमें हमारे अच्छे अच्छे एग्रीमेंट्स भी हो रहे हैं। रेलवे में हमको हमारे पास बहुत सारे रेलवे स्टेशन के ऑलरेडी ऑर्डर्स हैं। तो रेलवे और एयरपोर्ट्स एंड सोलर, तीन सेक्टर्स हमको बहुत अच्छा रिस्पॉन्स। अगर आप बिग सेक्टर एंड सुपर बिग सेक्टर्स में देखोगे तब हमारी ग्रोथ रेट इज वेरी वेरी हाई।
ओके, गॉट दैट। Thank you so much, sir, and wish you all the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Aman Agrawal from Equirus Securities. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. So, sir, just a clarification upfront. This is the 3Q volumes that we have seen for multiple ERW steel tubes companies. We have seen a case where few other companies have grown a bit better than APL Apollo. Is there by any chance a case where those companies are benefiting at the expense of APL? Any kind of market share shift that we have seen, or is this mainly because of demand shift from primary market to secondary market?
Yeah, thank you, Aman. Very good question. Aman, I earlier also tell there is two type of market. One is secondary and one is primary. If you see that today the primary gap in the Q3 is almost close to 15 rupees kg, जो आज 12 रुपए किलो के आसपास है। तो नो डाउट जब एक आपको 15 रुपए का गैप होता है तो थोड़ा बहुत डिमांड में शिफ्टिंग होता ही होता है। बट द मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट थिंग कि उस 15 रुपीज के गैप पर भी वी हैव सर्वाइव। वी मेंटेन आवर, थोड़ा वॉल्यूम हमारा टूटा बट वी मेंटेन आवर मार्केट शेयर। और लाइक अब ये गैप 15 से घट के 12 रुपए किलो रह गया है। अब 12 रुपए किलो के गैप से भी हम अपना वापस मार्केट शेयर वापस ले लिया हमने। और जैसे जैसे ये गैप नीचे आता जाएगा हमारा मार्केट शेयर इवन बढ़ता जाएगा। तो क्योंकि नाउ एवरीबडी वांट गुड क्वालिटी मटेरियल प्रोडक्ट्स, तो आई एम नॉट वरीड अबाउट द सेकेंडरी मार्केट, क्योंकि मार्केट धीरे धीरे डाइंग है। अगर आप पूरा सेकेंडरी मार्केट का चैनल देखोगे तो आज मोटा मोटी स्पॉन्ज जो है ये 27 रुपीज के जी के आसपास है, जहाँ से सेकेंडरी शुरू होता है। और उसके ऊपर कम से कम पाइप बनाने का खर्चा 22 रुपए 23 रुपए किलो के आसपास का खर्चा आता है, फ्रॉम स्पॉन्ज टू इंगट टू पतला टू पाइप। तो ऑलमोस्ट दे आर क्लोज टू 50 रुपीज के जी। तो दे आर रनिंग देयर प्लांट ऑन नो मार्जिन बेसिस। तो 50 रुपए किलो पर पाइप बेच के कुछ नहीं बच रहा है। तो I don't think कि अब उनके पास नीचे और जाने का गैप है और HR कॉल का जिस हिसाब से कैपेसिटी बिल्डअप हो रहा है इंडिया में और HR कॉल का EBITDA margins of Tata Steel and other companies is quite high. So they are no doubt market में दिक्कत आने पर they can adjust their price. उनके पास गैप है. So this is very very कहते ना हमारे लिए फ्यूचरिस्टिक चीज है कि इंडिया में जैसे HR कॉल का कैपेसिटी बढ़ेगा तो सेकेंडरी मार्केट तो वैसे ही खत्म हो जाएगा. आई एम नॉट बुलिश ऑन द सेकेंडरी मार्केट. आप देखो कि मैं 5-5 मिलियन टन की बात कर रहा हूँ फिर भी कहीं पर भी मैं सेकेंडरी में जाने की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ. दिस इज नॉट ए गुड क्वालिटी मटेरियल एंड आई एम नॉट थिंकिंग दिस इज ए लॉन्गर विजन फॉर ये इसका कोई लंबा विजन है क्योंकि उस मार्केट का अपना खुद कोई भी कहते ना अपना स्ट्रेंथ नहीं है. वो दिस इज टोटली डिपेंड ऑन द HR कॉल प्राइसेस. ये HR कॉल प्राइस नीचे चला गया तो वो पूरा का पूरा मार्केट साफ हो जाएगा. अगर HR कॉल प्राइस ऊपर है तो लेवल टू प्ले. तो उनका अपना कोई स्ट्रेंथ नहीं उस मार्केट का. तो आई एम नॉट थिंकिंग कि सेकेंडरी से हमको कोई बड़ा इम्पैक्ट आएगा. आई एम नॉट वरी. अगर हमको ऐसा वरी होता तो नो डाउट हम भी अपना कुछ सेगमेंट सेकेंडरी पर लेके जाते. बट वी आर नॉट थिंकिंग, वी आर नॉट इवन डिस्कसिंग इन आवर इंटरनल मीटिंग. आई एम नॉट वरी अबाउट द सेकेंडरी मार्केट. दिस इज ए मैटर ऑफ टाइम. Maybe 2 months, maybe 1 month, maybe 1 year.
Understood, Sanjay ji. Another question, while I understand that general products, while I understand the dip in the volume of general products, any particular reason why light structure volumes have shown such kind of degrowth in 3Q?
Amal, this is due to the retail sale. नंबर 1 तो रिटेल सेल में डाउन स्लैब प्लस यही तो मेनली स्ट्रक्चर जो होता है सेकेंडरीज पे इम्पैक्ट डालता है. ये जो आपको कहते हैं ये अराउंड 1.6 थिकनेस टू 2.5 थिकनेस. तो उसके कारण भी थोड़ा इम्पैक्ट है और ड्यू टू रिटेल सेल डाउन है उसके कारण भी इम्पैक्ट है. बट इसमें नाउ वी आर इन वेरी एग्रेसिव मोड इस सेक्टर का अपना वापस वॉल्यूम गेन करने के लिए. तो यहाँ पर लाइक वी आर लॉन्चिंग लॉट ऑफ स्कीम इन द मार्केट. दिस इज वेरी वेरी फनी टू से बट हमने यस्टरडे वी आर लॉन्च स्कीम इन महाराष्ट्र मार्केट कि वी जस्ट सेल 200 टन मेटल इन 2 months वी ऑफर ए फॉरेन टूर. तो हमने इस टाइप स्कीम्स को करके रिटेल में वापस अपना प्रेजेंस को स्ट्रॉन्ग करने जा रहे हैं.
थैंक यू. विल टेक अ नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम द लाइन ऑफ माधव फ्रॉम फिडेलिटी. प्लीज गो अहेड. Mr. Madhav, your line is unmuted. Please go ahead with your question.
Hello, am I audible now?
Can you use your handset mode, please?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, Madhav, go ahead.
Yeah. My question basically was that in the export market, basically, if I understand right, of the 5 million tons which we are guiding for FY26, 1 million ton comes from the export market, which is basically outside India. So the domestic business ramp up is we need to go from 2.8 to 4. So to that extent, the expansion that we need in the domestic market is not very high. Like we don't need to go from 2.8 to 5. We need to go from 2.8 to 4. Is that the right understanding to have for the company?
Yeah. Yes, Madhav. So 1 million ton international market. Dubai should be like 300,000 tons fully ramped up and incremental also we are putting up new capacities. Plus from Indian mills, we are increasing export sales, international sales. So yes, if not like fully 4 million, maybe 4.1, 4.2 should be coming from India. And right now also like export market is like 0.2 already, right? So that also you deduct for the current volume.
Got it. And in the export market, how is the product mix? Is it like a good product mix and our EBITDA per ton is it at the current company level or is it higher or lower versus current company average?
So right now it's higher than the industry than the company blended EBITDA per ton, Madhav.
Okay. And just lastly, any specific countries which you are targeting to start off with because it's a very large market? So any specific countries where we want to focus on?
It's across.
Mainly in Europe, Canada, US, and Australia.
US, Canada, Australia. Got it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Anupam Gupta from IIFL Securities. Please go ahead.
Morning, sir. Just a couple of bookkeeping questions. What is the capex which is outlined for total of FY24 to FY26?
Right now we have not exact data, but actually close to 350 crore.
Right. So just to add to this, Anupam, for clarity, that the residual capex at the start of the year was around 600 crores, right, to go from 3.5 to 5 million tons. So far, we have spent like 500 crores in the first 9 months. Another 150 should be in Q4. And then next year, whatever is the residual capex plus the organic capex, what we do, it can be more than like 200-300 crores.
Maximum totally now outflows from month of January to for 5 million ton, I think not more than 350 crores outflow.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Anupam Gupta from IIFL Securities. Please go ahead.
No, so hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just continuing there, you said that you want to expand Dubai by another 0.2 million tons. So what incremental capex you're looking at for? Because that was not the plan.
What 0.2 million tons, hardly capex of 50-60 crore because we have already made the infrastructure.
Sure. Okay. And one question on what was the inventory loss which you took in third quarter because obviously steel prices went down and your...
No. We never count the inventory loss. We just now change our policy, whatever we buy and whatever we sell. We just see the gap.
Okay. So no major number there?
No. There is no major number.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Mahek Talati from Yellow Jersey Investment Advisors. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for the opportunity. So we have been mentioning that we want to focus more on the value-added portfolio and not on the commodity. But if we see the new capacity additions, we are adding our capacity in the general segments too. So can you please explain the rationale behind that?
So this is the natural growth for the industry, right? 10% we are assuming the industry should grow. So to cater to that, we are ramping up the capacity because one of our core USP is to be able to supply all the SKUs to our customers, right? So to maintain the SKU range, we have to increase the capacity as per the industry natural growth.
Okay. And my next question was, so we are saying that the new capacities of HR mills are coming, which will help us for further supply. So are we currently facing any problems in terms of raw material sourcing or it's going smoothly?
No, this is totally smoothly, no problem at all.
Okay. And next question was, given many players in the industry are increasing the capacity and adding new products, what gives us the confidence that we will continue to grow at a 20-25% range, given the industry itself is expected to grow at 12-13%?
So there are two factors. One is that our new products from Raipur, right? They are completely like first time ever launched products in the country. So those products are ramping up, right? So that's new product, new market creation, new applications. And secondly is new geography, like in export market and in East India, where the sales were very, very low for Apollo. And now we are focusing on each of those geographies very, very aggressively. So those will give the volume. And third, there will be shift from inferior scrap steel tube market to the HR coil tube market. And given our market share, we will maintain those levels.
Okay. And last question, you mentioned that you are getting good orders from railway station redevelopment. So how many orders are there and Any order pipeline for railway station redevelopment program?
So any railway station will require steel tubes, right? So far, the Indian Railways has awarded 50 railway stations to the EPC contractors, right? So every railway station will require steel tubes. We have supplied to 4-5 railway stations already. At the same time, we are also trying to increase the steel tube consumption in those railway station designs, right? So where our steel consumption could be more than 50% of the total steel versus 15-20%, which comes anyways for us.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Anish Jobalia from Girik Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So
I'm sorry, you're not audible. You're sounding muffled.
Yes, sir.
No, we can't hear you,
Hello.
Mr. Jobalia.
Hello. Are you hearing? Hello.
Little. Please go ahead with your question.
Yes, sir. So thank you for the opportunity to ask the question. So my question is, in our next phase of expansion from 3.6 to 5 million tons, if you see, there are two big players that are looking to.
I'm sorry, sir. You're sounding muffled.
Hello.
Are you able to understand his question?
No, we are.
Hello. Are you able to hear me now?
Little better, yes.
Yeah, so my question would add, in our next phase of expansion from 3.6 to 5, so if you see there are two places where we are looking at, big expansion of the capacities. One is on the light structures, and then the second is on the galvanized tubes, right? So if you see the history of the galvanized tubes, typically, we have been doing around 100,000 odd tons, 100,000 tons. But we are looking to go for a significant growth on this side. So just want to understand, how will we be able to sell these big volumes in the next phase of expansion? If you could just help to understand that. And in the light structures also, how are you seeing the volume ramp up happening? Because 600,000 tons being added in the next phase. And today we are at a run rate of around 100,000 tons, right? So how do you see the growth in these two sides? Thank you.
So first clarification is that this is not next phase. This is ongoing phase of capex, right? 5 million ton is part of ongoing phase, not the next phase. Now coming to the light section, why the capacity is increasing is because of introduction of super light tubes from Raipur plant, right? So that's part of super light, and that's forming the bulk of incremental capacity which you see in the sheet, right? Then the second on pre-gal, right? That also part of color-coated tubes which are getting added in Raipur. So that's where the new capacity is coming in, right? So it's the existing product is organic, 10-15% capacity expansion, and rest is coming from new products, super light in light and color-coated in pre-gal.
So, we are pretty confident that we'll be able to sell these products, and you are saying that it will be largely led by new products, right? So, it will be new demand, kind of a new market.
Super light segment from Raipur plant, we are already at 33% utilization level as of December 2020.
Right. Okay, sir. All the best, and thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. We have our next question from the line of Vikas Singh from Phillip Capital. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir. Sir, as you said that there would be a margin compression in such as galvanized, and similarly, many of the competitors are coming in even in the value-added segment like mild steel, DFT. So just wanted to understand that while on one hand you're talking about a margin expansion in the heavy structural, your largest share would see an onslaught from the competitor. So just your thought process, whether in this mix you would be maintain the margin, or you expect in the longer run it should come down? Hello.
Vikas, good afternoon. Like if you see our pre-organized product we take in the country almost 15 years back. In 2007, 2008, we introduced the pre-galv technology. Now, no doubt there is some other players are coming, but the strength of our branding, we have no problem to maintain our normal margin. The extraordinary margin, which is close to 85,000 this ton, now we are unable to maintain. But almost close to 6 kilo margin is not a big task for to maintain because our quality and the costing, lot of things. And we are doing a lot of new work also, innovation for pre-galv. Now we are introducing our one plant in Raipur plant. We are now going to slowly convert it to pre-galv galvanum tube. हमने अभी उसको रायपुर प्लांट में इंट्रोड्यूस कर दिया है एंड हमारे मालूर प्लांट में भी उसकी 2 नई लाइन लग रही है एंड दो लाइन हमारी नॉर्थ इंडिया में लगनी है. तो आई थिंक विद दिस वंस वी केम आउट विद दिस प्रोडक्ट इन मे बी मंथ ऑफ जून तक हम टोटली इस न्यू प्रोडक्ट के साथ आ जाएंगे. तो आई थिंक अगेन हम अपने इस मार्जिन को वापस मेंटेन कर लेंगे. तो दिस इज कहते हैं लेटर एंड सांप सीढ़ी का खेल है. ये तो इंडस्ट्री में चलता रहेगा. जब हम कुछ नया करते हैं तो पुराने लोग उसमें आते हैं, हम उससे और कुछ अच्छा नया करेंगे तो फिर वो उसको अगले 5-7 साल बाद फॉलो करेंगे. ये तो फॉर गिवन टाइम है, हमेशा ही इनोवेशन चलता रहेगा. तो वी आर डूइंग लॉट ऑफ न्यू टाइप ऑफ वर्क इन जहाँ जहाँ पर हमारे मार्जिन हिट हो रहे हैं वहाँ पर हम नए नए टाइप के इनोवेशन कर रहे हैं. उसको ज़्यादा मैं एक ओपन फॉर्म पर भी ज़्यादा अभी डिस्क्लोज नहीं कर सकता हूँ. 1-to-1 नो डाउट वी आर हैप्पी टू ग्लैड विद आवर शेयर होल्डर्स, बट ओपन फॉर्म पर भी अपनी सारी पॉलिसीज भी डिस्क्लोज नहीं कर सकते हैं. बट वी आर डूइंग लॉट ऑफ न्यू वर्क टू अपने आप को सिक्योर करने के लिए हम काफ़ी इस टाइप के दूसरे वर्क कर रहे हैं. इन द नेक्स्ट 1 year अपोलो कम विद लॉट ऑफ न्यू प्रोडक्ट्स. उसी में और वैल्यू रेट प्रोडक्ट के साथ हम आएंगे वापस.
समझ गया सर. सर एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन ऑन द कैश फ्लो यूजेस. लाइक यू सेड के नेक्स्ट ईयर 300 और लेट्स से 400 करोड़ का आपका कैपेक्स रहेगा, थोड़ा वर्किंग कैपिटल लगेगा, बट आपका कैश इनफ्लो इज मच हायर एंड इवन इन फ्यूचर फॉर कीपिंग अ 25% ग्रोथ रेट मेंटेनेंस ऑफ दैट वी डोंट नीड लाइक 50, 60 और 100% ऑफ आवर एबिटा टू दैट. सो हमारे पास 50% और मोर एबिटा एवरी ईयर वुड बी फ्री. तो उस कैश का हम क्या करेंगे?
This is a tough question to answer. अभी तो if you see our balance sheet this quarter 1600 करोड़ के आसपास हमारी लाइबिलिटीज है और 400 करोड़ के आसपास हमारा डेट है. पहले तो मेरा बड़ी पॉइंट है कि पहले मैं ये 2000 करोड़ को खत्म करूँ जो मैं आई एम टारगेटिंग FY25 एकदम लाइबिलिटी फ्री और डेट फ्री बैलेंस शीट बनाऊँ. अभी उसके अलावा मैं कुछ नहीं सोच रहा हूँ. जो नॉर्मल डिविडेंड आता है वो आता रहेगा. फर्स्ट माई एम इज फॉर FY25 March. You see the balance sheet on zero debt and zero liabilities. Then we talk about our shareholders and we think in-house here now how we consume the cash.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, due to time constraints, that was the last question for today. I now hand over the call to the management for closing comments. Over to you, sir.
Thank you everyone for joining us today, and thanks again to Nuvama and Sneha for having us for this call. Have a nice day everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. On behalf of Nuvama Wealth Management, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.